commemorating tragedy to promote healing in one Delaware County community. Folcroft Borough honoring the town's first black family with an historical marker today. The Baker family moved into the borough nearly 60 years to the day. But as our Marcus Espinoza explains, they were driven out by racism and hate.
Today in Folcroft, a little more than 50% of residents are people of color in this neighborhood. That was not the case some 60 years ago when the very first black family moved into this house behind me and was greeted with a riot.
People were throwing Molotov cocktails and stones and just trying to destroy their move into this neighborhood.
60 years ago next weekend, one of Folcroft's darkest moments unfolded when Horace and Sarah Baker and their daughter moved into this home for a better life. Instead, they were met and greeted with hatred, violence, and racism.
Looking back, it's a time of reconciliation. It's a time for everyone to heal and come together and to realize that that was a stain, a blot at that period of time. But now we need to come together and work together to make sure that doesn't happen to any other family.
As a part of that effort, Dr. Terry Baker Stevens Freelix, the daughter who lived here all those decades ago, was honored today by the Borough of Folcroft and presented with a plaque immortalizing this moment for all to remember.
It's important to remember it for what it was, not for what other people might envision it. Some people might rather forget that this moment happened, but Folcroft was not a diverse community. It was effectively segregated, if not by law, but in reality it was segregated. And today this is a diverse, vibrant community, so we're proud that we're not like this now.
The Bakers would deal with harassment and bigotry for 3 years straight before finally moving out in 1966 and settling in Mount Airy. Aaliyah Anthony moved into this neighborhood with her family 7 years ago. As a family of color themselves, she was greeted with a much different welcome than the Bakers and is thankful for that, but became emotional hearing this story today.
It's a very emotional day for me, honestly.
How come?
Because when I watched the video, they literally was like holding people back so they could get into their home. I just walk in there so peacefully every day with no problems, and the fact that this happened to them was It's horrible.
It's hard to imagine the scene happening today, but for Baker Stevens Freelix, progress has been made, but moments like this must be remembered, and much progress is still left to be covered.
Times are currently changing, and if we're not careful with lies and rumors, we'll go backwards, and we can't afford to do that.
In Folcroft, Marcus Espinoza, Fox 29 News.